against my skin. How could love wear so thin? I'm sinking in the hollow ground. Nothing can stop me wanting you somehow. I won't let it die. I can feel you when you're not around. When the night gets cold, I won't be alone. We won't be alone. We won't be alone.
Hello guys, hello esports club, hello everyone. I know you guys were asking for a cool thing called DWL Spotlight, and we started today with Sis. We're gonna talk about lots of stuff. First of all, some information about Sis, who is he, because like I also want to know, and about diabotical where we're going, where we are right now, lots of ideas and things like that. Then we will need you guys, like maybe you will ask some cool questions in chat, and it will be awesome. And then I'm gonna do my type of thing. I'm gonna ask Sis some questions from Marcel Proust. Anybody of you guys know who's Marcel Proust? He's from France. He used to be from France. I mean, like now he's dead, so he's from grave, but we still remember him, and he was awesome. He made a very cool questionnaire. So, and then it will be finished. I'm gonna ask super fast questions and all that stuff. So let me start with Mr. Sis himself. Wait a second. Hello, Sis.
Hey man, what's
Hi.
up? Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. You're welcome. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm great. I'm great, man.
That's awesome. That's awesome. How's the weather in Portugal?
Really hot. I think it's like 26, 25 degrees today.
Really?
Yeah.
24 here in St. Petersburg too. Like very good summer. All right. I think for Portugal it's pretty common. For St. Petersburg, where I am, it's not very common, to be honest. So we start super simple. Tell us something about you. Where are you from? How old are you? Also, like how you became a Quake player, right? And like, yeah, like just basic information.
Okay. So I was born in Belgium.
Ooh, interesting.
But my parents moved to Portugal when I was really young. I started playing Quake in 97.
97?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Some of our esports club members were not born in 1997. That's awesome.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, my brother started playing Quake World, and
older brother.
Yeah, older brother.
Okay. So
and the funny thing is, I watched him play for like 4 months, and I never had the urge to play the game. And one day, my brother actually forced me. He was like, "You are going to play this game."
Very good brother. Very good brother.
He was like, "You are going to love it." And the thing is, I got really addicted to it. After a while, he was the one wanting me out of the computer because I was like so addicted to it, man. Quake World was awesome, and I already told this to some of the younger guys. The funny thing is that back then, everyone played Quake. Like it was the first multiplayer game. I remember going to school and having rivalries with schoolmates, people from my high school. They all played Quake. And that was the best thing, winning against other clans, because the other clans were made from people from your high school that you wanted to beat and make fun of them the next day.
Yeah. I have one question. Sorry for interrupting you.
Yeah.
So your brother told you about Quake and forced you to play Quake. That's awesome. Very good brother. Did he continue play Quake, or you started to be more like a Quake addicted than he was?
Yeah, he never made the transition to Quake 3, for example.
He stayed in Quake World, right?
Yeah. I don't think she really enjoyed Quake 3. I think he had the same opinion as me back then, but I think because I was younger and had lots of time to spend, I kept playing. And for him, like, testing or trying a new Quake that he didn't really like at first would consume a lot of time, and he didn't see the point of doing so. For me, I remember the first, 2 months of Quake 3, I just thought the game was fucking slow. I really didn't enjoy it. But, then I started playing in real tournament, and then I got back to Quake, and Quake 3 actually felt faster compared to Unreal.
Yeah, so your transition from Quake World to Quake 3 was like without Quake 2? You didn't play Quake 2?
Yeah, actually, I started playing Quake 2 just after I played Quake 3.
Ooh,
because then I had some clan mates playing Quake 2, and I just gave it a try. But to be honest, I always preferred Quake 3. Quake 3 was always my main game back then.
I see. I think that some people back in the days in 1999 when Quake 3 was released were thinking the same. How now some people can you can hear some opinions that like Diabotical looks very like childish. I think that for Quake 2 and Quake World players in 1999, Quake 3 was like pretty childish game. Because it was bright colors, right? And
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like for me, it was. It was completely different from Quake World. Quake World felt faster, felt darker, felt more real, and Quake 3 felt like sci-fi.
Yeah, I know
It was too modern. I would say. I think it for me, and I know a lot of people from Quake World that stopped playing back then because they didn't really like Quake 3.
Yeah, but then
To be honest.
Lots of people. I mean, like it's weird to me to see so many Quake World players and Quake 2 players playing Diabotical and enjoy it because they didn't like Quake 3, right? So Quake World, for example, always was alive, right? Like as a scene, and for example, in Nordic countries, they still like play it a lot, and I think that Quake World never died like completely, like because it always had a scene, and now I can see that lots of Quake World players actually enjoying Diabotical. That's awesome.
Yeah, because I was talking with Miax the other day about that. I think one of the main reasons why I really like Diabotical is that it feels faster than Quake 3, and I always miss that. I really liked Quake 3 and I really liked Quake Live, but I always felt that something was missing, at least for my play style. And I really enjoyed Diabotical because it feels, the movement feels smoother, feels faster.
Yeah, it's super smooth.
And yeah, and I really like that. I really like that. And I think if some of the old school Quake World players tried Diabotical, they would feel the same.
Nice. And by the way, you said Mix that you talked with him, and Mix, shout out to Mix. He actually made the picture we are using right now in our DWL Spotlight background. Thank you so much, Mix. And do you know him like from all times of Quake World, or like it's or you met him like in Quake 3 or something?
I think I met Miax around, I don't know, 2015, 16, something like that. Like I knew him before,
times, right?
Yeah. Because I knew him before, but we weren't close, I would say. But after Quake Live, we started becoming like acquainted, I would say. And when Diabotical got out, we started chatting every day. And nowadays, I would say we are really close friends.
And,
I would say.
And he made beautiful picture of you that we are also using right now.
Yeah, man, he's such an amazing artist.
Absolutely.
Like he's fucking awesome.
Yeah, I agree.
Really.
All right. So then, so you started Diabotical in August 34th. All right, in September 3rd, right?
Yeah.
And so when the idea of the league came to your mind, like that it will be cool to make a league or something like this, so like like tell me more about the Diabotical Wipeout League and like how it became a thing.
Well, I think the idea, I would say that the first time I started thinking about competing again was when the TTS tournament was out, and I just didn't really enjoy the format. I thought that the format was terrible.
What you didn't like about this?
I didn't like that you would have to prove yourself in 3 completely different modes. I don't think that makes that makes sense. I would rather have 3 different competitions, one of McGuffin, one of Wipeout, and one of Extinction. I think that would make sense, even if it was like 1 per month, rather than having to compete in 3 completely different modes and being forced to like the 3 modes or to practice the modes even if you don't like them. Yeah. back then that completely put me off, and because I really wanted to compete, I had time to practice, I had time, I was in quarantine.
Mm-hmm.
So like I really had the time to put into the game. But then when the format was announced, I was fucking disappointed. And I remember having conversations with Miax about that and telling him, oh, I think the only way people would, keep playing is if they were kind of forced to play every week. And I back then I didn't know if it would work or not, and I wasn't even thinking about making league or anything like that, or talking about anyone about that. I was just thinking what, in my opinion, would make sense for such a small community. And for me back then, back in Quake World, the best thing, or the thing that got me addicted, was playing streams or matches almost every week, and we didn't have anything similar here. I'll give you this example. Imagine that you practice for a whole month for a tournament, and then you're seeded, badly.
Yeah.
And your first game is against 2Z.
Yeah.
So you play one game and you practice for a full month. And then you go into the losers bracket and you can even play 1 or 2 games, but in the total, you're going to practice a full month to play 3 games. And for me, that was so such a turnoff.
I see.
I think you have to build a tournament or around the community and not force the community into esports. I just thought that the format was really bad. And for me, I started, I had this in mind. And back in January, I was getting frustrated because, no tournaments were out. The TTS was bullshit. And for me, if this league didn't come up, if we didn't come up with the league, I to be honest, I think I would have stopped playing, because, I was getting bored of playing pubs, of playing the same people the whole time.
Yeah.
And then I saw lots of people quitting. And for me, the best thing about DWL is seeing lots of people coming back, guys like Gilbert that stopped playing, guys like Andy, for example, DR Blue, almost all of those guys had stopped playing. And for me, it's really awesome to see guys like Gilbert, like Andy, like Morpheus. I think it's Morpheus, the other guy. And that's the thing that DWL is all about, having a community, making people that didn't saw a point in playing to come back and have fun with their friends.
Absolutely, I agree with you. So the whole thing is, so I assume that when you were playing TTS, who you played with, by the way?
No, I didn't play with. I didn't see the point in signing up.
You didn't join at all to TTS, right?
Yeah, I think I would have signed up if the modes were more pleasing to me. If it was a competition of just McGuffin or just Wipeout or just TDM. But I didn't see the point in practicing modes that I didn't enjoy, or having to prove myself in so many different modes and practice so many different modes, and then get seeded badly, for example, and play a team that we didn't have a chance. That's not competing for me.
Absolutely. Not only for you, for many other players and teams.
Because we could have had esports anyway, but at least bring something around the community, work on something around the community. And I didn't feel that the tournament was, looking over the community. If it was, I think they would have thought about a format that, kept people playing regularly. At least that's my opinion.
From these 3 modes, you didn't like, I assume, Extinction?
Yeah, I didn't like Extinction.
And what about McGuffin?
Yeah, I think McGuffin was really cool.
Yeah, the problem with McGuffin to me, and I always check out how it works, not only as player, but also
Yeah.
as a viewer. To play MacGuffins, it's super fun, it's super cool, and kind of reminds of CTF, and I'm a big fan of CTF, and I used to play CTF a lot, but as a viewer, it's really hard to watch and follow. And I think that until we will get some new things for the observers, I don't know, like maybe a camera in that MacGuffin sometimes or something like this. Like, so current situations that we have, like not only like in Diabotical, in any game, to show the action, it's not cool for mod like MacGuffin, and it's very like I would say very good for Wipeout, because Wipeout have the rounds system and like people die, and it's clearly
that,
people can understand what is going on.
Yeah, that's the thing, like, for example, back in Quake 3, we had, TDM was really popular, and that's why like all the competitions were around TDM. You can't force people to play a mode, and you can't, you can't come up with a mode and then put money there and try to motivate people to play that mode. I think it's completely the other way around, and that's why I play Wipeout. It wasn't my favorite mode at first, but it started to grow on me, just because it was the mode, right, that everyone was playing, and that I could get a game really fast. And that's the thing. Like, it's fun to compete in a mode that people actually play. And that's the thing. Like, I wanted, or I think me, Roxy, Hank, DK, like, I think we wanted a competition for the community that we could play, often and have fun.
Yeah, absolutely, I agree with you. And so who came up with the idea of the league first?
I think we all played this small tournament called, I think it was Egg House Cup, that Kersey made, and
I heard about this cup, from Luxotron.
Yeah, and I think it was really fun. And then me and some other guys with Kersey, we started having meetings talking about that it would be cool to make a tournament. And then I remember one day coming up with the idea of the point system and talking with DK and Tavos, like calling them on Discord. And I was like, I think it would be really cool to make like every team play against each other. But if it's a system that you just get a win, it will be boring, because that wouldn't motivate the weaker teams to keep playing. But if it's a point system that you get points for wins, I think it would be cooler to motivate everyone to play. If imagine that you're losing 2-0, you already lost the match. But if you know that you can still take a point, you will fight till the end. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think I had that format in mind, but I also needed feedback from the other admins, and they agreed. And I'm happy that it's
admins, right? Future admins. They were not admins.
Yeah. Back then we were just talking. Yeah, like we didn't.
Who was that big club? Like big secret club. You, DK, Tavos, Kersey. Who else? Roxy.
No, I think me, DK, Roxy. Me, DK, Roxy mostly. Then also Kersey, she helped a lot. She put in the work as well. Hank helped a lot. It's hard to just say a few people, because so many people helped, and that's the secret of this league. It's so many people putting in the work.
Made by community for community.
Yeah, completely, man, completely.
Back in the days, in the zeros, we used to have Asus caps, and like it was like the main Quake free caps and the name, they had a slogan, from Quakers to Quakers, and I always remember it. Like, for Quakers by Quakers.
And like of course we all got like wives, kids, and whatever.
Not everyone,
girlfriends.
girls.
Yeah.
All right, sorry.
And it's, you know, difficult to find time to play and to be an admin, and you know, and we are trying our best. Like, not always it's easy, but trust me, we try our best. And I think the league has been really fun. Like,
Absolutely, absolutely.
it's way beyond anything that I expected. Like, it's, you know, it feels so professional for something without prize money and without someone backing, like without sponsors. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but soon we
And
will be like NBA, I think. What do you think?
I would, yeah, I don't know.
Why not?
I would like to see us growing, you know, because I think for a first season, things has been really cool.
Absolutely, and I
Who
enjoy it
knows
as a
about
viewer.
future?
Yeah.
I was talking about that with Nugget today. I would love to have some LAN finals eventually. I don't know if it would be possible or not, but I would definitely enjoy to meet some of the guys in real life, to play them, and you know, to hang out with them. I think it would be awesome, man.
What do you think? It just came to my mind right now. So let's say finally COVID-19 ends, and we will talk about like maybe it will be a LAN event in the end. But what do you think it if make it like finals of the league, right, on the LAN, and also a draft tournament for people who can like play, you know, casually, like on Saturday, for example, LAN finals, right, and on, I don't know, Sunday, like a draft tournament or something, because like, you know, like players who will come just to like play and meet, and they, if they're gonna lose, then they will probably have a chance to win something in a draft tournament, just like a super fast one. I think that
I think that would
yeah,
be great if we will eventually end up having some LAN finals. Who knows, season 2 or 3 or whatever.
yeah.
I think it would be awesome. You know, I don't know if it's ever going to happen, but I really would like to compete and play in LAN, and mostly to meet some of the guys that you've been playing and talking and chatting for months.
Yeah, I agree with you. So then you all agree that it's time to make a league, right? And
Yeah.
what was the next step, like, so how it became a thing?
Coming up with a name, coming up with, you know, contacting other admins, planning.
Wait. First of all, who came up with a great, absolutely mind-blowing name, Diabotical Wipeout League?
Yeah, it was me as well.
Congrats, man. It's a very good one. And it's like, it's really easy to remember. And like, I think it fits really good. Like,
I think it's catchy, you know.
Yeah. Yes.
Like you said, it's just easy to remember.
Yeah, and
I
it
think
works. It's very good for like anything, or for branding too, if it easy to remember, you know.
exactly, yeah. I think the only thing that some of the guys said back then is that if we eventually wanted to, you know, organize tournaments in other modes, if Diabolical Wipeout League would be like a suitable name. But you know, I just think at this point, I doubt other modes will be as big and as, you know, successful as Wipeout. To be honest, I think it's, you know, it's the mode that everyone keeps playing, so no point changing that.
So you came out with a name, then you guys started to like do what? Like you asked Mix to make like some art, right? Or what?
Yeah. We wanted to have a banner for the website, so we asked Miax.
Who made the website, by
DK
the way? Who made the website? I really like the website.
DK made the website.
Nice, DK. What a shot.
And it's looking really good. You know, like some of the things, like I remember, like that we discussed if we should have a website, and you know, back then most of the things seemed so impossible to have, because you know, we didn't really have the time. Like some of the guys are working a lot, and the free time that they have, they wanted to just keep playing. So like we didn't know if we would have like everything that we have now. Like having all the games streamed or almost all the games streamed. I remember like talking to Roxy and DK, and I was like, we should have at least one stream a week,
Yeah.
And nowadays we have almost every single game streamed from Masters and Open. So like how awesome is that? Like
and it's
most
just
of the
first
things.
season, man. It's like I can tell that
Exactly.
we will just like make it better and better all together in the community because people love it. Admin's doing great job, and I think that like Diabotical Wipeout League not going anywhere, guys. Not going anywhere. I think it will be forever.
I think that was the fun part, like we built something and it eventually got better from what we expected or initially expected. And
yeah, it's a great feeling. I bet it's a great feeling for you guys that you started something that you never knew it's gonna be huge or like it will fail, and now you like can feel like how good it is and like people.
We didn't even know we didn't even know if we like how many signups we would get.
Did you have any idea how many teams will play? Like when you were thinking?
I remember some guys. I remember one of the first chats that we had. The French guy Xiu was there as well, and Loxotron. I think I remember this was like 2 or 3 months ago. One of the first meetings, and Xiu was saying that we would have 30 plus signups, and I never thought that we would. DK also thought that we would get a lot of signups. Like for me, if we had 20 signups, it would be already awesome. And I thought 20 would be possible. 36 or 37, like we got, I never thought that we would, to be honest.
How did you promote the league? Like through the Discord or like while playing? How did you reach teams?
I don't know. To be honest, I think it was like 1 month before. Was it 1 month, Roxy? That we got the pickups channel up. Because I think the pickups channel helped. Because I don't think
for Wipeout, right? Before the pickups started to be a thing in the game.
Because after the Hack House tournament was over, we just wanted to keep playing and playing some of the maps that we played on that Hack House Cup, like Morpheus or Prod, or we wanted something that we didn't really care about, ranks, that we could play 2-3 games straight away. And I think that helped get in touch with the community. But if you ask me what kind of marketing we had, I have no idea.
So Roxy
I think it was
you basically promoted in different Discord channels.
Yeah, I think it was mostly like talking to friends and then the word spreading out. But of course, we also promoted in a few Discord channels. But then things it just started happening. I remember the first few days of signups were really quiet, and then suddenly everyone was signing up.
Nice. That's cool. All right. So next thing that I wanna ask you is what do you think it will be cool to add in Diabotical Wipeout League, and like what ideas you might think will help to make it even better? I mean, like it's already superb, but maybe something that you probably thinking of and you can tell.
I don't know, man. I think we really didn't discuss much further, if I'm completely honest with you. We want to finish season 1 and then discuss further what we should do, what we should change. It really depends on there are many things that depend on signups. We have no idea if next season we are going to get the same number of signups. We have no idea if some of the teams are going to stick together, if we are going to see new teams.
shuffles.
Exactly. So we have no idea because if this was like a sport, that we knew that those teams are going to stick together, it would be, for example, easy to think something like the 2 or 3 best clans from Open, they should be promoted to Masters, and the 2-3 that got the worst record, they should get relegated to Open. But we have no idea if people are going to stick together, if they are going to make new teams, form new clans. So it's really hard to predict. I think we got a few people that we are really creative, and I bet that we will come up with new things and new ideas. But at the moment, we haven't spoken much about anything. We are just focused on season 1 finishing, and then I'm sure we will talk about what we can get better, what we can change, and what we should keep.
All right, cool. I think that after playoffs, there will be some time, right, to think and
Exactly.
and choose what it will be better for future of Diabotical Wipeout League. All right. Next thing I want to ask you, what do you think will be cool to add in Wipeout, in the game? Maybe some ideas you think Wipeout need, or maybe Wipeout you think in a perfect state. I'm talking about the mode, not the game.
Oh man, I would change the rockets definitely.
All right.
It's
Luxotron team. Luxotron team. I see.
Everyone has an opinion about this, but for me, and having played so many different Quakes, I just feel that rockets are just too strong. I'll for example, if I'm LGing someone and I got that guy from behind, I expect myself to win the fight. And then I throw a slow weevil, so I'm hitting 60% LG because the guy is in the slow weevil. And I can still lose a fight against a guy with rocket launcher. For me, that's just, how stupid it is. You can't have a weapon that, for example, on Wipeout, that you can rocket jump, you can get so close to your enemies. Splash damage is so damaging. And for me, rockets is just too up, at least for Wipeout. I don't know about Duel. I'm sure it's not that up for duelers, at least from seeing.
Yeah, I never heard anything about rocket from duelers.
Yeah. But at least for Wipeout, I just feel it's too strong. I don't know what changes I would make to rockets. I was listening to Luxotrons the other day, but I would definitely change something. I just don't know what.
Mm-hmm. You just feel like it's too overpowered, right? In Wipeout.
Yeah, in Wipeout it is, in my opinion. Other than that, I would add a few more maps to Wipeout.
By the way, I think I can tell some maybe new thing for some of the people that I'm actually in talks with a map maker who is about to make a map for Diabotical Wipeout League, and he wants to test it. And what's
all right?
Yeah, so I think maybe in future, I mean, not so fast, but maybe in future Diabotical Wipeout League will have unique maps of Diabotical. Back in the days in Quake, we used to have CPL maps, right?
Yeah.
CPL. And why not to have Diabotical Wipeout League map 1, map 2?
I think
that would be cool.
I think that would be awesome. We also have been playing a few community maps like Morpheus and Prod. I think there are some other ones that we probably will test on season 2. One thing that I would definitely add to Diabotical would be nicknames with colors. I just thought it was so much fun to have different clans.
Yeah.
And, and actually one of the things, and this is such a topic for a big discussion. But I would definitely add a coach like we had in Quake 3.
Yeah,
Do you remember in
I
TDM?
still don't get it. I still don't get it. Why we didn't have coach in Quake Live? Because I remember in Quake 3 it was super cool that there was like team, right? And there was a
Exactly.
spectator of this team coach. Like, why it's removed? Why it's not a thing anymore? Like, I don't get it.
I think it would be, especially in a mode like Wipeout, with that it can get so tactical in terms of if you should die or not, like having a perspective of someone that is just specking the team. I think it could help out, saying, okay, you should die now, you should force
Absolutely.
your
Great idea.
and then or split or regroup, or because sometimes when you're playing, it's really hard to keep chatting or to keep talking to your teammates.
Yeah, in Wipeout, it's literally like it's hard for you to make a decision sometimes because you like in the fight, right? Or you like trying to focus on your aim and all that stuff. Like sometimes you don't realize it's like a third death.
Yeah. Imagine like this: it's already difficult to keep chatting while playing, while in the middle of a fight. Imagine when you're playing against teams that have a really aggressive play style, like Viking Line or GG.
People call them Zerlings.
Yeah, they are constantly forcing you to get into a fight, and keep fighting, keep chatting with your teammates, keep giving feedback about everything. Sometimes it's hard. And plus, if it's not your mother language, like my team, like none of us are native English speakers, it can get really difficult.
Yeah, I'm just reading what Cookie said. I never liked the idea of a coach for one reason. In ranked game or normal game, you won't have that role, so that experience change completely. Yeah, but what's bad about it? Like ranked and pub games are just ranked and pub games, and when it comes to like competition, should be the experience should be another one, right? So it's like there are tournaments and there are ranked. Ranked is very good, competitive, and it's interesting to play, and players should play it. But it's not the same as tournament. Tournament will be harder, right? And the league will be harder because people try to go all in.
if you look at it, if you look at Euro Cup 3, if you look at Euro Cup 2 back then, even before we had the coach option, we always had a guy sitting behind everyone on LAN tournaments.
We used to have it in Russia all the time too,
exactly. Coach. So it wasn't the coach in game, but we still had the coach like every time in LAN. So we never felt it was because some teams feel that it can be an advantage, but if everyone has a coach, I don't think it's a bad thing. If only it can push teams forward to play better games and to be even more competitive.
Yeah, and by the way, we even used to have coaches in 2-on-2 in Quake 3 in Russia, and they usually were like counting items and making like quad 55, something like this. There are some old videos, for example, from Russian LANs when like, for example, Mikis and Shadzy playing 2-on-2, and I don't know, like Cookie counting for them, like old school player and all that stuff. So yeah, it should be only, I think, if every team have a coach. And all right, some teams will have cool coach, some people will have bad coach. Well, that's life.
But that's the same. That's the same with players. Some teams will have better players than others. But,
yes.
Maybe, it is how it is.
Maybe it will help a team that have not the best players to actually win against.
But that's actually. But that's also interesting, to have a team that some of the players might be weaker, but then they have a great coach, and the coach can make them actually better. So, and I think that's really interesting as well.
I agree, absolutely agree with you. I think it's a great idea, and I hope, like in future, they will add this. I don't know, at least at Wipeout. I'm not sure it's needed like anywhere else, but Wipeout it can be. So what I can tell, coach can first of all control the rounds, right? Like how many death you have, and like tell you have to go and die or stay safe, wait like 5 seconds till your teammate, don't push and all the stuff. It's like super easy calls, but very important, and coach can help with this.
Exactly.
So players can
Because
yeah, focused on
at the moment, we actually do that as well. Like if you're dead, you are helping your teammates. But if you had someone just focusing on that, I think it would be better.
I agree with you. All right, so next thing, guys, if anybody in the chat have anything to ask Sis, you are welcome. Ask your questions, but first of all, I'm gonna ask some questions from very cool guy Marcel Proust. Did you know him before?
No, man.
All right, so it's okay. So he used to be a French writer, and he made very cool questionnaires, and like some of the questions are cool to ask, and it's usually used for those interviews, like with people, to get to know them better. So first of all, what is your idea of perfect happiness?
I don't know. Hanging out with my friends, with my girlfriend, traveling.
Cool. Anything else?
It's a hard question, It seems something
sometimes
really
questions
simple.
can be hard, but it's not the easier to answer. I mean, like, you answer pretty much awesome, I think.
Because like
out with friends,
for me, like
girlfriend.
I feel like I feel really happy. Like I work in something that I love. I have a really like I have really nice friends. I live close to my family, so I don't have anything to complain about. To be honest,
cool.
Like I wouldn't change anything.
That's awesome. What is your greatest fear?
I don't know.
For example, I hate elevators. I don't like them. Anything like this do you have?
Small spaces.
Small spaces. All right.
Yeah.
Which living person do you most admire?
Living person.
Yeah.
My dad.
Cool. Which living person do you most despise?
Oh man, the list would be long.
All right, it's okay. What is the quality you most like in a man?
Honesty.
Perfect. What is the quality you most like in a woman?
I would say the same, man. I wouldn't change it. Yeah.
I know the song that we will end today. It will be Billy Joel, Honesty. Which words or phrases do you most overuse?
Epa in Portuguese.
Epa?
Pa.
Let me write.
Epa and pa in Portuguese. It doesn't mean it doesn't mean shit, It doesn't mean anything. I just start almost every sentence with it. I'm just really used to it, I would say.
Is it common, like in Portugal, to say this?
Yeah, between a few friends, yeah.
Cool.
I used to curse a lot, but since I started working, I kind of stopped.
That's good. Which talent would you most like to have?
Which talents?
Yeah.
Man, I would love to draw like Miax.
Oh man, everyone would love to draw like Miax. I mean, like, this man is so talented.
Man, when I see some of his artwork, I'm like, oh man, I wish I could draw something like that. I wish I could make something like that.
Yeah, it's super good. And usually I see so many bad arts, so many bad fan arts, and so many like people like those emotes on Twitch. They all feel the same. Like, and I don't feel the soul in those like works. And in Miax's works, I can tell like it's so good, and like he's definitely a very gifted person. Like when it comes to art and all that stuff. So it's really cool to have him on board for Diabotical Wipeout League.
Yeah, man. He's really talented, and above all, he's a really nice person. Like really, really nice.
So it's a pleasure for us to have him in Diabotical Wipeout League and making art and logos. I'm using all his art for like broadcasting, you know, like, and it's awesome. If you could
Yeah.
change one thing about yourself, what would it be?
I'm a bit stubborn. Yeah, so I would change that.
All right. What do you consider your greatest achievement?
Um, you know, I'm a fashion photographer, and I think my biggest achievement is actually having a career in it and starting from nothing, not even going into photography school. So I think that's my biggest achievement, no
That's
doubt.
awesome. That's awesome. I didn't know that. You didn't never tell. It's super interesting and looks like a very interesting job. Have you seen Cristiano Ronaldo?
Ah, man, not yet,
Not
not
yet.
that.
Maybe
One
one day.
day.
You, as a fashion photographer, you should met Irina Shayk, his ex-girlfriend from Russia. She's kind of into fashion, you know.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah. I wish. I
yeah,
wish.
I wish to.
Good.
Maybe one day, maybe on the Diabotical Wipeout League Season 5 LAN event in St. Petersburg, we will call her just to be our, like, I don't know, like, face of our event or something like this, you know.
To give the
Maybe.
prizes. To give
Yeah,
the prizes.
it will be awesome. Imagine to give the prizes to the winner. If you die and come back as a person or a thing, what would it be?
I have no idea, man.
Maybe, I don't know, like a cat, or maybe like Cristiano Ronaldo, maybe yourself again, something like this.
Yeah, myself again. I don't think so. I would try to live a different life.
Cool. And
Yeah.
the last question from our French friend Marcel Proust: what would you most like to live? Where would you most like to live?
Live like living.
Yeah, like a location, like a country or
Man, I've
place.
already lived in so many different places. Like I've already lived in UK, in Denmark, in Australia. So, like, I'm exactly where I want to be. I really like Portugal,
Cool.
and I've had, like, when I was young, my dream was to live abroad, and I did it. So now I just love living in Portugal. So I wouldn't change anything.
That's awesome. It looks like you really don't want to change anything, and it's cool. It means like having a great time, right? So
Yeah, man.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
it's awesome.
I I'm really enjoying where I am now. You know, I think we all go through phases in life, and at the moment, I just, I'm just enjoying where I am.
That's awesome. And now we end with Marcel Proust. So now you have to answer to me super fast without thinking. All right? I'm gonna like
Okay,
try to find super easy questions. First of all, Cooler or Cypher?
Cipher.
All right. Who is the best Quake free player of all time?
Um.
It's not fast.
Okay, Cipher is one of my favorites. But you had so many different eras in Quake 3 that it's really hard to
Yeah, I know.
to answer
Yeah, I
that.
agree with you. That's why I wanted
And
your
then,
first answer because I have no
like,
idea who can it be. It can be Cooler,
because
CZM. I don't know.
because
Zero
I
four.
had I had a phase that I really enjoyed watching Prozac play. But then I had a phase that I was watching every Cypher demo. So and then I had a phase watching Fox a lot. So it's really hard to answer that. I think that the Cypher was the one that aim wise I was most amazed at back then.
Okay,
So I would say Cypher.
so it's Cypher. Okay. What is the best Quake of all time?
Best Quake player of
No,
all
no, Quake,
time.
Quake as a game, like from first to Quake Champions and Diabotical also included.
Quake 3.
Quake Free. I agree with you. I
Yeah.
agree with you. By the way. All right. Who's the best player in Diabotical Wipeout League?
That's really hard to answer. There are a
Fast
lot
answer.
of great players at the league. Silence it.
Concept. All right. Who gonna win Diabotical Wipeout League?
I think GG are the favorites now. I would say.
GG.
Yep.
All right. Cool. So I think that our chat, like, guys, esports club, what's wrong with you? No questions, really? You have some? You don't have any questions to seize, guys? That's mind blowing. Great to put more pressure on GG, says Roxy. So it's like so
That's the idea. That's the idea.
tactics. so this is how it works with actually. I'm not joking. This is how it works with teams who actually never won anything big, but they're about to win something. So everybody start to say they are the best. They're gonna win, and they started to be under pressure and they fail. It's actually like this thing always happens like this. But it's usually like this.
You know, because like there's this thing, like some teams play better on playoffs that they play on the regular season. So I'm curious to see who's going to perform better on playoffs. I know that some teams are not playing as good as they should, and so it's going to be interesting to see like what teams are going to come up with on the playoffs, if they can reach another level or not. So I think it's going to be really interesting. I think for me, saying GG are the favorites, that because on scrims that they are doing a lot, like they are winning lots of games, but that can change on playoffs. Who knows? We'll see.
All right. I also want to know your what you think about the playoffs. All right. So let's pretend
Yep.
that we have playoffs. We're gonna be in playoffs from Group A. Need I send you the link?
I think it's going to be Plus Forward, Factory, Forgotten, and Croissant, Auber.
Wait a second. So who gonna take first place in Group A? Because I already did that with
I doubt Factory. I doubt Factory is going to lose any more maps. So I think they are going to end up first.
Factory first, all right. Second, Plus Forward.
Yeah.
Plus Forward, your team, all right. Then third place.
Forgotten, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the fourth place is going to be a hell of a fight. But I think the French are going to make it. They are really good.
Croissant, right?
Yeah.
How do you say this? Say this.
Croissant beurre.
Croissant beurre.
Nice. I don't know.
I have no idea. But you was born in Belgium. At least you can pronounce it better than me, right?
but I left really early. I've never learned French.
All right. Me too. Unfortunately, because French language of love. All right. So Group B. Who gonna be first place?
Yeah, Group B is tough. I think GG is going to eventually end up first.
GG first, second.
Then Viking Line, I think.
DL.
Let me open the table. Third place is, I think third place is going to be tough. Third and fourth, but probably NSI. And then last place, it's going to be a tough fight between Jolly Behavior and Death Rain Red, but I think Death Rain Red is going to make it.
GR Red. All right. So now wait a second. I'm asking you this. So let's say we have those playoffs. You said I'm gonna compare it with a Luxus run prediction next, and we will see who was the best predictor. So it seems like Factory gonna face a DR Red, according to you. Who gonna win?
Factory versus DR Red. Factory, I think. Factory. I don't know. I think without Danchez, it's going to be tougher for them, but I still think they are one of the favorites.
All right. Plus Forward. plus forward. Gonna play against against third place, right? It's gonna be NSI.
I think if we play our best game, we can win.
Plus forward, all right. Then it would be funny if you said, "Oh, NSI gonna win," you know. Then
You know, like the thing is about my team is that I know for a fact that we are not playing our best. We can do much more, but you know, it is what it is. You know, we can lose, we can win, but I think we have potential to do more.
Forgotten against Viking line, Nordic battle, Scandinavian massacre.
I think Viking line.
Viking.
Yeah.
The Islanders gonna win. You know, it's like a New York Islanders against New York Rangers. And the last.
I think it's really tough because at this league, to be honest, if you have one team from these 8 that it's on a good day, they can beat anyone. Like any team from these 8, if they are on a good day, they can beat anyone. So it's really hard to tell.
All right, and the last game will be GG against Cross and Iberia. I assume you think that GG gonna win.
Yeah, GG, no doubt.
So semifinals will be Factory against Viking line, I believe, right? And plus forward against GG teams, as far as I understand. Yeah, so Factory against Viking line.
I would say Viking line.
And so Viking line will be in finals, and plus forward.
But we also have we also have a losers bracket. Don't forget about it.
Oh, I forgot about it actually.
Yeah.
All right.
So some teams will
yeah,
or some teams can have a comeback.
Yeah, so that's cool. That's cool that you have a double elimination for the playoffs. That's awesome. Okay, so I will not ask you who will win plus forward against GG. Of course, plus forward, right? So anyways, it will be interesting to check if anyone who was asking actually came with a right idea of the teams and all the stuff. I think I mostly agree with you, but I think the Death Rain Red probably will not be 4th. I think they will be at least.
Do you think 3rd. Jolly Behavior?
No, I think Death Rain Red will be 3rd in group.
Okay.
They won
instead of NSI.
Yeah, they won NSI, and I don't know, like I think Death Rain Red will be 3rd, and NSI will be 4th.
Okay.
But I'm not sure right now. I'm not sure, but.
Yeah, I think Group B is really tight now.
Yeah.
Like I think besides GG, yeah, GG and Viking line, I think are going to end up 1st and 2nd.
Cool. One question from the chat from Magunard, who plays in Open League. He asked you, how many languages can you speak?
Unfortunately, just 2.
Portuguese and English.
Yeah.
But guys, Portuguese is one of the hardest language in the world, so you guys know it. So it's hard to Portuguese. Was it hard to learn as a when you was in school because I know it's hard for foreigners, but is it also hard for people who live in Portugal, study from the childhood?
No, I think for us it's simple. And because
Russian language is hard for Russians, super hard. People keep doing mistakes, and it's usually in school. People who study Russian, they usually have problems. It's really hard to be good in your class on Russian language.
Yeah, I think that the good thing about Portuguese is that we have so many sounds that when you start learning a new language, it makes it easier. To learn and to speak those languages. I think that's the good thing. but I find it simple for me. But I know our grammar is really, really complicated. But I don't know. For me, it just feels simple, you know.
I see. Okay, Magunart is also asking another question. I think as an admin, you probably know the answer. Is there any difference going to playoffs from first place or second, third, or fourth? I think it's like
Yeah,
seeding,
yeah,
right?
because then the first place from Group A is going to play against the fourth place from Group B.
Yeah,
So
it's not
you
the
should
good
always
thing for
try
you.
to end up in a better place, so you can get in theory a weaker opponent.
Yeah, and not gonna face GG, for example, in your first round, right?
Exactly, but to be honest, I think like all teams that you get, like any team that you can get, is going to be really difficult.
Absolutely, I agree. Absolutely. All right, that was
Like
super cool.
I don't expect to have a team walking over and winning all games 3-0. Like I doubt that's going to happen. I think lots.
5-0 because it's best of 5, right?
Yeah, but
Yeah,
three
3-0. Yeah, I know.
because you win all the maps.
Yeah.
But I can definitely tell, like, at least I believe that most of the games are going to be 3-2. I doubt a team is going to win like all games 3-0.
Nice. Super cool. Thank you so much, Sis, for starting the Diabotical Republic Spotlight, because you was the first, first man in space,
Yeah, man, I'm really looking forward to see who's next.
We'll
And
think about
thank
it.
you so much for having me. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Sis, for your time, and thank you so much for
And
your
thank you so much for all the work that you've been doing, like I told you before. And you're making like every stream really fun and really entertaining.
It's a pleasure, guys.
It's such a good thing to have on the league, man. Thank you so much for everything that you've been doing.
Yeah, thank you so much for your kind words, and it's very natural because I really enjoy the thing. So, for example, can do this, for example, for other game, because I really like Diabotical. I really want this game have more competition, more players, right? And
yeah.
I like the whole wipeout thing. I never been to Clan Arena. That's why I have that. I still have that feeling about it. Something fresh for me, because I always was TDM, CTF player, duels before that, and I'm not gonna lie, I didn't like Clan Arena, but now I completely changed my mind, and I think wipeout is awesome and very good for the spectators.
I think the interesting thing is that when we played the Egg House Cup 2 months ago or 3 months ago, I think it wasn't that developed in terms of tactical stuff that the teams would do in games and stuff like that. And at the moment, I think the games are getting really entertaining. You're seeing teams, doing really interesting stuff, and you can see that even if it's such a basic mode, that you can see that there are tactics and teams are developing different things. And the things with smokes and weeballs and regrouping here and there, I think it's getting way more interesting and not as basic as even myself thought at first. So I don't know. I think it's entertaining, and I see a future in Wipeout. Who knows?
Yeah, absolutely, I agree with you. I think it's very bright future. For real, because the game is cool to watch and cool to play. That's all we need. So even without advertising, I bet that more people will see it and start playing and start watching. So I think that we just started, right? Everyone
yeah, it's like I told you before. Like for me, when I played Quake 3, I only played TDM and Duel, because for me those were the only two modes that I found it interesting. And then when those two modes, at least I stopped playing Duel and I started only playing TDM. And when TDM started dying, only then I started playing Clan Arena. And at the moment, I play Wipeout because it's the mode that, you know, I can get easy games. It's entertaining, it's fun, and I always spend a good time. And that's what I want from a game.
Cool. Absolutely. I think it's the great line to finish our interview.
Yep.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Sis, and see you later in Diabotical.
Thanks, man.
About
Thanks
League.
for having me.
Yeah.
And I'll see you soon.
Bye bye.
Bye, man. Bye bye.